the benefits of taking time away.
Oh my gosh.
So I took a long time, as you guys may all know, but you also took some time off. So I want to talk a little bit about just kind of that mental reset that occurs when you're able to step away and truly just shut off and enjoy the place that you're at, the people you're around, the things you're doing, and not think about what you should be doing.
You first.
Oh man. Well, I had almost 3 weeks, so that's a very long time. I've never been able to truly shut off the way that I was. Like I said, I was gone 19 days, I think, and I'm probably only worked about 2 hours in 19 days.
Mhm.
I completely shut off from both types of work. Working out, I didn't work out at all during while I was gone, and I didn't work really. Like I said, 2 hours maybe.
Mhm.
Uh, and it was a really big mindset shift for me in understanding what is important. It brought my family closer together just because we were able to spend 19 days doing whatever the heck we wanted to, getting lost in the streets of Europe, which was
Mhm.
phenomenal. I mean, one of our missions almost every single day, or at least when we were walking through cities and not on the sea, was just get lost and we'll find our way back. Just keep walking. And whatever street you roam down, if you want to make a left turn, make a left turn. If you want to go straight, go straight. Doesn't matter. Just keep roaming. And it was so fun just to get lost in the streets of Greece or in the streets of Italy and not have any idea how to get back unless we pulled Google Maps up and then followed ourselves. But it
Mhm.
just brought our family closer together to be able to do that type of exploration and not think about all of the other people that we work with on a regular basis. Now, granted, I did miss that communication
Mhm.
because we've developed relationships and strong friendships amongst everybody that we work with, specifically you and I together. But yeah, it was a great reset. Coming back, it was kind of like, well, there's more important things than all of the internal pressures that I put on myself every single day.
So
And
I I got a question for you. Does that increase your appetite for like novelty now that you're back? Do you still feel that same kind of like, that was really cool to do something new. I want to do that again.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Same.
I mean, I'm ready to go again.
Yeah.
In that regard. But no, I think there's also the thought of that too. Like kind of if you take that getting lost mentality, I think about how do I just get lost in this roadmap, right? How do I get lost in our network and how to whether it's how to build it or whatever the case may be, but just going deeper down rabbit holes instead of just kind of saying, oh, well, that's a rabbit hole. We don't need to touch that. Oh,
Yep.
that's a squirrel that's running too fast. We don't need to chase that.
Yep.
It makes me think I need to dig deeper and actually get lost in that thought as opposed to just keeping everything at a surface level.
How much have you used Claude since you got back?
For work, very
Yeah.
little.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've used it for um, just hobbies, like trying to sell a bunch of baseball cards that I have on
Yep.
eBay and using it for postings. I've used it um, for gym routines and things of that nature, but for the most part, I haven't really used much of Claude.
That's something that I noticed when I came back is like, okay, I was up in the North Woods of Wisconsin, and usually that's like we grew up in Wisconsin, so it's a whole cadence of we're going to go see this person, this person, this person, this person. And we didn't do that this time. We just literally spent, I don't know, a week up there, and probably 3 days of that was just being out in the woods
Mhm.
and not really having a plan. And you don't have the greatest cell reception, so I wasn't like checking my phone all the time or anything. And it was like I reconnected with my kids and my wife and my family and people that are very important to me. But then what I realized is like I really enjoyed the quiet, and I really enjoyed just letting my brain turn on things.
Mhm.
And I think what I had realized is that I was outsourcing way too much of my thinking to AI tools. And when I really actually value the process of thinking, it does something for me. And it doesn't create, you don't get as quote much done as you would if you use an AI tool to help, but ultimately the what you produce becomes yours. And I
Mhm.
really felt the need for that sense of ownership after coming back. Of like, I don't even know if I want to make something if I can't claim it as my own. And
I could agree. When it comes to like thought pieces and things of that nature, I can understand. But if it's like building an Excel spreadsheet or
no,
something of that nature, you're still going to go straight to Claude.
yeah, but it's almost
But
like just
it reset your, let's call it's not really an addiction, but it reset your addiction to getting approval from Claude for your thought pieces.
it actually no, so I it reset my expectation of how much work I need to get done to be able to feel fulfilled about myself.
Hmm.
And I realized that that fulfillment actually comes from my level of ownership over my work, not the volume of work that I create. And that was really, really valuable to recalibrate on.
Yeah, no, that I guess I never saw that as an issue for you in all of the
I
times that
didn't
we've
either.
discussed.
I didn't either, but
That's
that
kind of
kind of
cool.
gets back to the what was the value? Well, like I didn't even see that there was value that I was missing because I hadn't just taken the opportunity to try something else for a while and, see
Well, at
what it
that
felt
point
like.
in time, prior to vacation, you were much more about quantity than you were about quality.
Yes. And the quality was suffering as a result. Like I felt
Well,
it.
yeah.
I felt it.
Yeah, I mean that's like, when we're selling machine parts or when I used to sell machine parts, the customer always wants very fast, low cost, and perfect quality. And
Yep.
in reality, you can only get two of those three
Yep.
because high quality parts fast cost money and time. And
Right.
uh and so and those are usually the two that people want the most. I think it's more important to have fast parts with high quality than it is to have a low cost part with shitty quality or a low
Yep.
cost part with ridiculously long lead times. Um, so I wonder what now that makes me think, what's the third attribute here? Because obviously, well, maybe it's only two when it comes to getting stuff done. Is it a quality standpoint or is it a how much do you get done? And if you get
So,
a ton of things done poorly, maybe all of those add up to a better than two things done perfectly. I don't know. It's
well,
just,
I think the payment for my work um is my own sense of ownership and my own sense of like satisfaction in the work that I've done. And so like if you want to say quantity, quality, and sense of fulfillment, like to me that's those three are kind of the three legs of that stool.
and you get two or three. So
Yeah.
but you always need sense of fulfillment. So you're never going to take quantity and quality and just be unfulfilled.
Yeah. Can you have quantity and sense of fulfillment? Maybe, because man, I'm telling you what, yeah, you absolutely can.
Yeah, you can.
Because the other day I did like, I don't know, I DM'd like 100 people on LinkedIn and I had more energy than I've had in a very long time as a result. Because I just realized like that's valuable to me. I really like talking to people. That doesn't deplete me at all. It gasses me up. And the
Right.
quality of those conversations, I mean, actually, the quality was pretty decent too, but it started out with just a quantity push of like, I need to talk
Well,
to a lot of different people.
but I mean, the reason why it was also quality, I mean, it was more about the quality than the quantity. You didn't use Claude to go message 100 people.
No,
So
no.
there you go. So it was still your quality expectations because it was you specifically individually reaching out to people.
We've seen this. We've seen this in our own sales outreach too.
You wouldn't have felt the same sense of fulfillment if you went into Claude and said, go message 100 people and then had those conversations just sent out. You wouldn't have
Right.
been as energized. But because
Right.
you spent the time to do it individually yourself and not utilize an automated way, you felt the fulfillment.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. I don't know. The idea of just shutting off, that's something that's very difficult for me to give myself permission for,
Hmm.
especially so I think there's like this kind of like there's a virtuous cycle and then there's like a very negative cycle. And the negative cycle is you sacrifice your fulfillment for quantity. This is stupid to talk about in the abstract. I'm just going to talk about it in concrete terms. Let's talk money. If you set your goal as how do we create more money in a business, it instantly sets your incentives up such that taking time off is a foolish thing to do
Yes.
because it's time that you're not making money. And yet, if you think about it, even if you get money, if you haven't taken time off to recenter on the things that are important, is it even valuable? Like you just end up with this Scrooge McDuck pile that you can swim in by yourself. Like it's not a valuable asset to you.
Right.
So the incentives,
I mean,
I
I think
don't
it just depends on what your incentives actually are. I had a thought and I was letting you continue to speak and now I forgot it.
know.
But-
Sorry. Should have interrupted me. I trailed off anyway.
So, okay. uh, it wasn't a question, it was a statement, kind of a statement about what made me feel like I didn't have to work while I was out there.
Ooh, I'm curious to hear what made you feel like you didn't have to work because that's a useful thing to grab onto.
Yeah, so I think the reason why I mean, I've never felt s- in all of the years that I've done this, I've never felt that I'm the only one holding AeroGrowth up. So, like when I was at Form Logic, I felt the only way that things were going to get done is if I was involved.
Hmm.
When I was at Hoosier, uh, the only way that things were going to get done is if I was involved. Same thing with Mycor. Same thing with my dad's cabinet shop. If I wasn't involved, then things weren't going to get done. And so whenever I went on vacation, it was always like, well, I still got to be on top of this. I still have to handle this and stay, make sure that I'm keeping things going. With
Hmm.
AeroGrowth, the network kind of keeps things going. The group of people that we've brought together keep things going. Granted, we
Hmm.
weren't adding new clients to the roster, whatever you want to call it, while we were gone or while I was gone. Everything just still was going. I came back and it was like nothing changed. Nothing, nobody was in an emergency. Nobody was freaking out. Nothing was wrong because the network just kept things going. And I mean, that's a tribute to you, to Josh, to Shannon, to Brooke. You know, you guys kept the communication going and all of that stuff. Obviously, primarily it's a tribute to you, for everything you did. But even with you being gone for a week,
Yeah.
of those 3 weeks, we both came back the same week, and there was nothing. Like there was some
Yeah.
things to like look at, but there was nothing that we were like, oh my God, we got to get this addressed. I can't believe this happened. Nothing like that. There was no emergencies. In
Yep.
fact, Monday coming back, I was still in a fog because I got back from Europe late on Sunday night. So obviously waking up Monday morning, it was just a little bit funky and time zones and all of that stuff. But I didn't do much on Monday and I didn't have to, which was kind of
Hmm.
cool. And it was my first day back. If I was at any other position, I would have been full till 10,000 emails to follow up on and just an absolute nightmare.
Right.
So that's why I didn't feel,
But
or
I want to challenge you on that a little bit. Do you think that's because of some permission that you gave yourself, or do you think that's just because of the nature of the business we've set up, or is it some combination of both?
I think it's 100% what we've built.
I think so too.
I don't think it's ever been a permission thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us. If this episode sparked a question, challenged an assumption, or gave you something to think about on your drive home, then we've done our job. We'll be back soon with another conversation. Until then, stay curious.